Don't you know that the music should be soft?
I can't.
Recording is in progress.
Hey, Theo.
Hey,
I'm representing today.
Theory.
Yeah. Remember those days?
That's a Theory shirt.
Yeah. Remember those days like 14 years ago? You called, hey, Coachy, I want to do a little podcast. You in? I went, sure. COVID. I'm in. What do we have to do? Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. Few shirts, few like dialogues along the way. Whoa, baby.
Oh, wow.
We can't even fucking Discord these days. We can't even like.
No, we're
What is
late.
happening?
We're late
We're
on
so
everything.
fucked.
We
I
owe
love
like
you.
we owe a Q&A.
We owe a Q&A.
We're backed up on guests.
We're backed up on guests.
We have a bunch of guests that are set up. You know what it is? And then we were going to do someone today, but I just got home and I'm still in this, I'm about to move. So we're kind of still temporarily in this guest house. You're doing White House Plumbers in the middle of nowhere.
I'm moving from city to city these days. I barely have Wi-Fi right now. I just got back late last night. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. The good news is, I will say, because I just got home. And
welcome home, buddy.
Thank you. The good news, there's a lot of good news, but one of the best news is that I'm going to say that this is probably one of my favorite episodes ever that we're about to do.
It's all, oh, sorry. I hit something down here. It's almost like we're in the old days.
Yeah.
Did you feel that?
No, I got to tell you, I felt like I was on a ride and I had a smile ear to ear the whole episode.
I just couldn't believe it. We were like, it was stitching up my ass was the worst thing that happened. Like, thank you.
It was perfect. It was it was truly, I have one little slight complaint that we'll get to, but it's so minor, but it was like, to me, I didn't know this. I haven't seen this. I've seen, obviously, like you, I've seen all the parts of it because of the Big Venus intro.
Yeah.
But this was like the perfect episode, and we'll get into why. So that's one of the good news that was really, it was so enjoyable to watch last night. I had my popcorn, like I was enjoying it because, like you, I don't really watch anything else. Like we don't watch movies, we don't watch anything.
Don't have time.
We don't watch TV shows. I don't watch anything.
But
I watch this,
bro.
I watch this.
Yeah.
And I watch documentaries. I'm watching, you know what I'm doing right now? Trying to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube in under 10 seconds. See?
Well, good luck. I have to say, Woody Harrelson's beautiful daughter did it in front of me and Toby Huss in under a minute.
Yeah.
Every single time. And we would, okay, go. And 47 seconds.
Yeah, there's an algorithm to it.
Of course.
So I'm trying to figure it out.
Good luck.
I'm working on that. That's my little hobby that I do when I have a break from anything. I do that. Besides studying Stoicism and Taoism, but that's a whole nother story.
We'll get into that next February.
Yeah, that's next. We'll get into that next year. And then you're golfing when you're not filming.
Yeah. I'm getting to see, this is your kind of neck of the woods, bro. You're a Staten Island boy. This whole Hudson Valley, I've said on Twitter the last week or so, it's stunningly beautiful. The people are beautiful. I'm having so much fun, either working my ass right off or traveling with the circus of White House Plumbers, or I'm golfing with my two new BFFs, Greg and Bob. We're going to leave it at that. But damn, I'm having fun out here.
I just read a thing last night that said the top 20, I don't know why it said 26, but it was like top 26 cities in America.
No, towns or cities. Yeah, I didn't
top 26 most beautiful towns in America. Yeah. I think like 3 of them were in the Hudson Valley.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Carmel, California always seems to take the top.
That's just because it's right by the sea and it's just so beautiful, and the rocks and Pebble Beach is there, and it's just stupid geography, just stunningly beautiful.
And it's got like all that old architecture, which is kind of cool. And then St. Augustine, Florida, because of it's the first city in the United States, 18.
Sure. Columbus fucked us up ever since then. Yeah.
Ever since then, came through there and then just fucking destroyed everything. Yeah. Well, at least the city looks nice. He fucking decided to rape and pillage and destroy everything else. But yeah, the city looks nice. Yeah, that's a whole nother. That's another podcast.
That's next February.
That's next February as well. All the stuff we're supposed to talk about will be next February.
We don't have time. We got Reaper reviews, babe.
We got Reaper reviews, and we're. By the way, what episode is this? Do you know what number?
5.
This
is 5. Season 5, episode 5. How about them, fans?
Yeah. This is the one you thought. This is the one you thought we lost Opie in.
Opie lies on his back on this one, doesn't he?
So not just is he long gone, my only issue, and when I say my only one, it's so slight, we don't mention him at all in this episode.
Yeah.
I think Jax, the beginning of Jax like doing that monologue to his sons, is speaking about hate, but he never mentions Opie. And then the ending is in reference to, because it's something from Skeeter.
Yeah.
But it's not, we don't directly.
No, well, those days are over.
Those days are over.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again for the next, 2 seasons. When Sutter closes a door, you don't open it no more. This door, oh yeah, there you go. Shit's about to get real in this mug. There's some chai rooibos going on in that mug. Love that.
Yeah, mug. So again, that's my only thing. But to me,
am I frozen?
Are you frozen?
Are you frozen? Oh no!
Oh no! It's still recording.
Yeah, but I'm frozen.
Just click your camera and click it again. Click that button that I tell you to click.
Yeah, there it is. But I'm
click it on and off. People are hearing this. Now click it back on. Do you hear me? Can you see?
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you, but it won't let me. Okay, hang on.
All right, go. Just click that button. Just click start video.
Yeah, it's not letting me.
It's not letting you.
Boy, this is really depressing. It's my fucking Wi-Fi, isn't it, hey, bro?
It is your Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's your Wi-Fi. You're in a hotel in the middle of nowhere. So at one point, if you can't get this, Justin's going to have to edit. So I'm going to say now is probably that moment because your camera is not coming on, is it?
I'm ready to go in the corner and cry.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit stop.
Hit stop.
So Justin knows. Let's go. Take 3.
Holy fuck, Rossi. My heart rate is up because I had to race down in my car to get my earbuds. My computer's taking a crap, an elephant crap on its face. We talked about that earlier. We won't explain why. My computer's fucked. All my port or portal, whatever you want to call it, it's gone. It's out. My Wi-Fi sucks. I had to do an update. I didn't know my password. This is what you're dealing with when you have me as a partner, buddy.
Well, I don't have to. I mean, I'm dealing with it, but like I said, I'm so sedated that it doesn't matter. It's the people who are listening to it. It doesn't matter. I'm fully fine.
No, you're so calm. It's because you got 2 redneck little beautiful boys bouncing off your lap 24/7 now that you're home.
Yeah, I'm quite calm. It's the people who are listening to this who are probably slamming their head against the wall repeatedly at this moment.
So sorry, but I'm not. But I am. But I'm not.
But now we're recording this through your phone. And, so anybody who's watching this video, it's going to look a little different. It might even sound different, but you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do what we came here to do, which is we're going to get to the episode called Orca Shrugged. And the reason I'm really excited to get to it is because it might be my favorite episode ever. If not easily top 5.
Yeah, no, it's really fun. It's a fun episode. Let's do it. Come on. Orca Shrugged.
And it's now, because we had so much fucking fun doing it.
Am I okay up in the top right-hand corner? That's fine, right?
Everything's fine.
Okay, we have nothing more to worry about?
Nothing to worry about. It's fine.
Okay, Orca Shrugged.
So just let me start this off. It starts with Jax's voiceover while he's in bed. He obviously can't sleep. We're coming off the Opie situation, right? And we get into we do this often where we have an early montage and an ending montage. We get 2 montages out of the show, which always makes them run a little longer. And he's talking about hate. And what I realized is while he was talking that he wrote this journal or he is currently writing this journal for his sons.
Correct.
Okay. just like his dad, JT, wrote it for him and his brother.
Correct. Thomas. Yeah.
Thomas died, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
How?
Not sure.
Younger, older?
Younger. Young.
Young, like super young.
Yeah. Younger.
Okay. Like a heart thing or something?
Yeah, I think so. Probably. I mean, God, fans, help us out.
Yeah, help us out. Was he older than Jax? Was he younger than Jax? Like, was he going to be the heir apparent? Like, what happens here? I don't know any of this.
I think he was his little brother. But again, I'm in a timeout, so
you're not.
I don't fucking know anything.
But so then we start this montage journey, and Gemma is in. What was she doing? I think I might have been eating popcorn at that moment. Is she hoeing out or something?
I'm going to tell exactly what she's doing, but I just want to touch on one more thing. When Jax, in his journal now to his son, I know you've noticed this, but his voice is trying to be deeper.
Yeah.
His voice is slower.
Yeah.
It's a new Jax that you've mentioned so brilliantly before Opie's death. And then he talks about hate and not to succumb to it. Yeah, and I just went ... How did that work out for you, Jax?
Yeah.
Like how did that
follow his own words?
Let's recheck on that a season and a half from now. Anyway, to be continued.
Where
Gemma.
hate consumes him. Yeah. So Gemma, what's Gemma doing? Because I saw her like in a robe. She's
puffing on a spliff. There's a beautiful backside of a gal passed out.
Oh, she's
sitting there smoking that freaking joint quicker than a coal stack in West Virginia. But there's no Nero. She's by herself.
So that's the thing, right? She's still kind of being crazy Gemma, but there's no Nero there to kind of to guide her down. Clay's cleaning out a ton of guns like he's about to go to war. Right?
They had to give him something to do.
Okay. Tara's waking up, realizing Jax isn't there.
Yeah.
He had to go clear his head. And Jax is somewhere writing, whatever. So the boys come in and we go to the diner. I want to say something here because we started this in the first episode. We went to that diner in the first episode where we went with Mitch Pileggi in the first episode ever.
Wow. Look at you.
I know. I do. I'm
good memory.
I'm remembering stuff today. I've told you this a million times. I love when I see the sons out in public. Like I've always said, remember we talked about it. We wanted to see Juice and Tig shopping in the supermarket. Yeah. I've always loved when they're like, there's other like pedestrians around them.
How about that?
Just to see how they react to them. Like just them walking in the diner.
Never enough of that.
There's never enough. There's too little of it.
Correct.
We're always sequestered in our own world. And I've always wanted to see us more out, like at a restaurant or something, or I just think it's so fun because they're so different from the community of Charming. So seeing that, I always know it's going to be a good episode. And here they are bribing the mayor. Jacob must have been doing another job or something.
Well, I just said, here's Mr. Mayor, Jeff Cobbler Hale has grown some serious Davy Crockett. Like he must
have been doing another job.
Yeah. Serious Davy Crockett going on now in that face. Beautiful.
He was shooting something else and they said, hey, you got a day? You got a day? You got a day? Because we're not going to give you a contract.
Can't shave this.
Can't shave this. Yeah, no, we get it. You're playing a magician. We get it. You do what you got to
do. And they're paying you more money than we are. So please, Jeff,
and we can't give you a contract, but we really need you.
We need you.
And if you don't come, we're going to kill you off for good. So it's either one or the other.
Another mayor.
Yeah. You'll have another mayor. Business. You died in a horrific balloon accident. The mayor fell from a balloon.
From a hot air balloon.
Yeah. So it's up to you to say yes or no. We just want to let you know the consequences.
Where do I sign? Where do I go? I just got to keep my Davy Crockett. No problem. Come on in. We won't use you for 4 episodes. Maybe. Get in.
So after that, we're at the chapel.
Well, hang on. There's one little thing in there I got to mention. When I saw Tommy and Boone go in with Charlie, right? But then I didn't know where Tommy was. And Charlie starts saying, we need this spot for a little, we're going to have a new company here, and Hale goes, automotive. And Chib says, not exactly. It's not exactly. And that's for fucking sure. All right. So,
so now we're at the table, and this is a
Yeah.
fun little scene because it starts off, contentious with the home invasion stuff. I guess they had to give some of these nomad guys some lines, and they had to get them involved. And I just don't. It never reads right to me when I see these outsiders yelling at the table.
And
I'm
they-
like,
and
I know
I
that.
just-
I know
I
we're all
just wrote
part of
down,
the club.
they were
Like,
all
what are we
jumpy, like
Yeah, what are we
jumpy,
doing? Why is everybody yelling?
jumpy, fast. Why are we yelling?
You're in our chat. You're in our clubhouse. You're yelling at people. Like, we haven't heard from you. We don't even know who the character is. And now you're yelling. That's your intro. Slow down. Just everybody slow down. But then it gets funny. I got to tell you, that Italian ice line is one of the best delivered lines. It was a perfect delivery. I know you only had 1 or 2 takes.
I had one take. I think he had one take.
Perfectly delivered.
Thank you. Coming from you, the comic genius on the show.
No,
I'll take that
it
as a
was
compliment.
perfect. And then everybody votes in that companion business. You think Clay is trying to play Jax. He's not.
Nope.
And there's, again, we start getting into that weird situation of like Jax is giving Clay the evil eye, and there's a lot of Jaw stuff going on, and it's just kind of whatever, but it's all good because we rose out of that scene like a phoenix, because I thought the episode can go the other way at that moment. I was like, no, don't be a bad episode.
And it sure wasn't. But I remember also when Jack slams that gavel down.
Yeah.
I thought, good for you. This is your own deal now. It's your own club. You're the president. But Clay was a lot softer.
Yeah.
Just a little. Jax just fucking whacked at it, bounced around a little bit. Like,
it all plays into what Galen says about him later.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No
he's a
doubt.
loose cannon. He's aggressive. He's this. It's like, just slow down, right? So
yeah, different guy.
Yeah.
Different
Jax tells Gemma, he meets with Gemma outside. He tells her, don't get attached to Nero. Just
Right.
don't do it. She, and immediately she's up in his face. She's still spinning a little. This is the Gemma storyline we're trying to implement. I'm not mad that the storyline was a little sidelined in this episode, that we got to really, see more of the sons.
I agree.
And that's not knocking that storyline. I just needed a break from it for a minute, the Nero Gemma stuff.
Yeah.
So Tara's at the hospital getting good news. Here's another little problem. I said I only had one. Maybe I have 4. Here's my next one.
Please.
She just beat the fuck out of somebody with her cast. She just literally did everything wrong in the episode before in the garage. And they're like, good news. It's actually healing quite well.
We got some really good news for you, Dr.
Really?
Susan. Tara, you're 6 weeks away from operating on hearts again. Taking out kidneys.
And we're going, what?
Really?
She's just in a cat fight in a garage where it's her other hand that's so bruised. What about the cast hand? That's got to be.
That's the one she was beating her with.
Bong, bang, bang. And I wrote down, would you stop banging that cast around Maggie Sips? Stop it.
Come on.
You're a doctor. You're a surgeon.
What the doctor should have said was, were you hitting this cast against something?
Would have been more realistic.
Would have been more realistic, but
Yeah.
I digress. Okay. So we go to the Irish meetup, and what we notice here is Juice and Clay are kind of developing their relationship. He's telling him, like, are you feeling
It's cool.
okay?
It's cool to see. Do you remember
Yeah.
those days? Come on.
I do. And this is kind of that beginning where he's calling him mom, and they're starting to, and what I had to do, I remember there, because it kind of came out of left field, and I was like, okay, why is he attached to him? And what I did was, Juice never had a father figure. Clay represents the dad that he never had. Also, at one point, not too far in the past, Clay is the most powerful. They can't see your thumbs up.
Oh, can't they?
No, because I'm talking. Now they can.
Can they now want to talk like
Yeah.
that? Can they?
What you gotta do is you gotta go-
That's what.
you gotta
That's
go.
why.
You got to go
Anyway,
thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up, Theo. Everything you're saying right now, little brother. Thumbs up, peeps. Can you hear that? Can you fucking see that thumb now?
They hear it and see it. So here's the other thing I wanted to think in my head. And I remember thinking this. If Sons of Anarchy is this very big motorcycle club, and I know there's a lot of debate about that they're maybe like a mid-level club. They're not the most powerful, but in our mind, when we were doing it,
we think we were. We thought
they were
we
the most powerful in the world, but maybe not, right? So but we know they have charters throughout the world. Clay is the epicenter. He's the poster boy. He is the top. He's the top of the pyramid when it comes to Sam Crow. So he wielded a lot of power out of Charming. So not just is he Juice's father figure, he's also technically, he's the founder of the club, him and JT and Piney.
Correct.
And a couple others.
Correct.
He's the real deal. So I think that
Correct.
Juice gets, you know, he wants that in his life. He needs that more than Jax. More than whatever. And I think we come to find out later, and I don't want to jump the gun, and I know you can't do any guessing. I always thought it was Chibs that prospected Juice, but I think it was Jax.
We always thought it was Chibs.
Yeah, because that's the way it played out, which, by the way, let's rewind time. It should have been taking Juice, but they were setting it up for that.
I think I'll tell you what, it could have started out as Jax. But Jack so quickly got into that VP mode. Chibs, I think Chibs took you over.
Yeah. I think it's mentioned in season 3 where he says, "Remember what you told me when I got into the club? You know, the club moves up."
Yeah,
I think there was something in the hospital bed when I got shanked that it was Jax who did it.
Yeah.
So we go to this.
No. I have
the silly fight. We got to talk about the fight.
No, we're not going to talk about any of that yet. This is the perfect time to mention our brother, Tony Medina. And do you know why?
Do it at the end. I'm so glad you're doing it now.
You know why I'm doing it now?
Why?
Your and Ron's scene in the van, Anthony Medina came up, his credit, while you two were in the van. I took a picture of it. I went, look at Tony. Of course, it's right over you, who was so close to him. It was you and Ron. A little bit of talking, and there was Anthony Medina. I stopped the video when I watched it. Anyway, bro.
I got fucking slammed by that news. It was bro.
It was really tough.
And I got to tell you, just so people know, we've mentioned his name hundreds of times on ReaperReviews. Tony Medina, Anthony Medina in the credits.
Yeah.
First of all, he's a young man. He's a young man. I have a weird relationship with death, you know, so I don't think of it maybe the way most people do. But the thing about Tony Medina is you want to talk about somebody that was full of fucking life in every way.
100% of every day we saw him.
He was so much fucking fun to be around. He took and gave. Listen, I was the shit stirrer on set. I was the one who fucked with people all the time. Everybody knows that, right? I was the one who, if you saw me, you better be ready, right? And he gave it as good as he got it. We were
flipping quarters 24/7.
Always
quarters,
betting.
50 cents, quarter, $1.50. Come on, what are you doing?
Remember,
Rossi?
he used to come with us to watch the football games. We would be betting on games. We'd be betting on everything. We bet the next camera is gonna be on a woman or a man. $100. He would bet on who would walk in the door first. Like, we bet on everything. But more than that, because that was the most fun. Like, you'd just be walking around set and you'd see him, he have his hat. He'd go, "You want to flip? You want to flip?
Yeah.
Want to flip for $100? Want to flip a coin for $100?" You go, "Yeah, let's go."
Yeah. and meanwhile, he designed it all. The Telemundo, all the tattoos, everything you saw.
That's what's so wild about him. Now that I've gone down like the rabbit hole of him not being here anymore, he didn't just design the Suns sets, like, because he designed every single thing, like
everything,
the sticker,
bullets or brains, all of it.
But then on top of it, so he created, like, the look of Sons of Anarchy is Tony Medina.
Correct.
And then on top of it, he would always create like the best rap gifts, like the hats, the sweatshirts, the this. He was always a part of with us, and then he'd do his own. And he was just like an incredible artist, but he was a wild man. And you got to see him. I haven't seen him since we wrapped. I've talked to him. We text a bunch, but I haven't seen him. I got to see him the last time we text. But when did you see him recently?
I saw him in January before COVID really started to hit around the world of last year, January. He won a pretty nice sizable little football bet that I organized once in a while, and I couldn't wait to see him, and I delivered it to him, and he was in a bit of a rough way. He had some health issues, And he's gone. Too young. Always laughing to the end. And when you and I found out the news, we were floored. And this is a perfect time to say hello and goodbye to a really good buddy of ours. And
yeah, look, I wrote the last thing I wrote to him is I wrote, "Hey, I just saw your name in something." I said, "Missing you at the end of all the madness we went through." And he wrote, "I miss you too," with a smile. That was the last thing he ever wrote me.
Yeah. Well, here's to Tony.
You know, here's to Tony Medina. And just know that if you're a fan of Sons, you're a fan of Tony Medina. And give him a lot of credit, because we put a video up on the Patreon of him, and just a really good guy and a really fun guy, and just really lived. He lived, man. And we should all do the same. He lived.
Here.
All right, let's get back. So we're
the fight,
the
boxing match.
Let's
have it. Come on, really?
Bro. Come on. Everybody's taking their shirts off. Here's what I like about the fight. Here's what I like. I love Tim, by the way. I think he's one of the greatest.
Tim Murphy's just so fucking good. It's just unbelievable.
He's just so fucking good. Here's what I love about the fight. No one wins or loses, and that's the way you needed to do it.
Yeah, how about that?
You needed to do that, because it doesn't work if you don't do it any other way.
No.
It's a silly fight. It's a filler. You need to do it.
It's a filler, but also it was again a relook at the past. What were those fights like in the past? Like me and DL in the boxing ring. Let's have a box them out. Let's have a little, and then you grab, you hug, whatever that means. That's what those two did there. They took the shirts off. It was silly, but it was just a box. There was no guns. We're not killing anyone for a change.
No.
So it kind of worked. And then Romeo and Benito show up. Like, Rossi, when do we lose these guys? When do we lose these CIA operatives behind the scenes? Only Jax knows. When do we lose these guys?
Don't know.
Okay, to be continued.
Don't know. Won't even make a guess. I feel like they were there the whole time, but I don't know. You know what I mean?
Here we go. They show up, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so they show up. I didn't know you provided entertainment, right? Now we go to Chucky, and he's introducing Uncle Fudgy, right? Is it Uncle Fudgy? Did I get that right? Is that right? Or am I totally
sure. Wrong? No, it sounds great. I can't remember what he called it, but I know the big boy's gonna fucking eat it. I remember.
But he does it to Uncle Fudgy. Tig's got an easy day of work that day. You're outside.
I love that day. I remember that day. All I did was smoke a cigarette and give my little thumbs up to Chucky. Chuckles, get the good job.
So you just sat there, you smoke your cigarette, they do your thing. Now we know that Chucky's setting this guy up. And now let me just get my bearings straight here. He's an insurance guy, but he's on the board of Charm.
Right.
Okay.
Which is why we are getting to him so that we can blackmail the mayor
for the magician,
giving us the warehouse so we can do our little prostitution stuff. And he needs one more vote, and the Orca dude is his vote. That's why we went to blackmail this black guy, this big guy with a bunch of pictures.
Your sound is driving me nuts, but don't worry about it. I could still hear you. It's just
Can you hear me?
I could hear you. It's just kind of going in and out, but it's driving me crazy. But that's okay.
This whole show is. It is what we just got to get through it. Okay, Rossi, you're moving into 14.
And it's, again, of course, it's on my favorite episode, but you know what? I'm going to, once we hang this up, I'm going on Amazon. I think I'm going to send you like every single thing to make this production right. But the first thing I got to give you is like a Wi-Fi booster. I don't know where you are.
How do you get a Wi-Fi booster?
We'll talk about it.
We'll go over
it. You need something.
Please.
Okay. So we back to the meetup. And now Galen shoots up all the bikes, which I kind of actually liked, right? Because it shows like, hey, by the way, let me show you who the big dick is here. Like, basically, let me show you what's going on.
And it reminded me how Tig's bike is the only bike that made it through the entire 7 seasons. There's some proof of it right there in the pudding. All those bikes got blown the fuck up, but not mine. Mine was the only one to last all 7 years. Did you know that?
Did he blow up there?
Well, you were riding with Ron, so you were driving with Ron. Everyone, Chips and Bobby and
Jax. Yeah, because
DL
had the nice bike. Now DL always had that same bike, and then I get a new bike when Tara runs over mine. Remember the whole gold thing comes up later, where I drive that gold bike, the Liberace bike, they called it. Yeah. Okay. So we arrive at the insurance office for the scene.
Oh, hang on, one more thing. Sorry, one more thing. I just did not believe that anyone could have actually held back Tommy Flanagan when he starts going crazy on that Irish
why did he
guy.
go so nuts over a motorcycle?
Just over a bike, because Tommy's Scottish. People keep getting confused that he was Irish. He was Scottish in the goddamn series.
Oh yeah.
He never liked the Irish. He always hated the Irish. He never got along with the Irish. Any excuse, but I'm just saying, I've seen Tommy.
He's a big man.
Which we can't go on about on this podcast, but it's hard to hold him down.
In February.
In February, we'll go into some other things. It's a very good point. Anyway, let's go. Here we go.
Yeah, so Tommy's going nuts. Chibs is going nuts. But now we get back to the insurance office for what I call the scene. And the reason I call it the scene is this is easily the most memorable scene, and for a multitude of reasons. I remember everything about it. I remember where we were sitting outside of it. We had that little tent that we were in that they were trying to keep cool.
Absolutely.
I remember it was 7 million degrees in that place.
So hot.
It was so hot. They kept apologizing. It was like we did a few days there, I think, right? Where we came in and out. 2 days there. But I remember this was, and man, credit to whoever edited this and let this go. There is so much improv in that scene.
I'm so
never
glad
happened in this show ever. And it shows what we could have done if you let us just be us.
Yeah.
We added so much stuff in.
And it all stayed.
And it all stayed.
Especially shit that you said and Tommy said. Tig, okay, and I need to tell everybody right now that you have to understand something. Everybody.
Some of the best acting I've ever seen you do.
That when I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
No, it is, because you did it with no words.
Yeah. When I found out that Walton Goggins was going to play Venus Van Dam, when I found out that Walton was going to turn into a girl, when she was she, beautiful transgender, gorgeous human being, Venus Van Dam, I called him up on the phone and I said, okay, we're making a pact that when you're coming in for the 3 weeks before you actually film to get your breasts on and your thing and your hair and your thing and you're shaving your legs and you're doing your research, I don't want to see you ever. So I'm going to let you know when I'm working on, and he never came to set when I was on set. That day that you're talking about beautifully right now, when the camera, I told Jeff, I told Dave, make sure a camera is on me, because when Venus Van Dam walked through that door, that was the first time that Tig Traeger had ever seen her.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, bro, that's as real as it gets. That was the beginning of, as you just said, without any words, Tig's face. That was astonishment.
Struck. You know, when they say you're struck by a lightning bolt?
I was struck. Yeah.
Love struck. Like Tig was love struck. And again, I had known Walton. I worked with him. You know, you and I worked with him on CSI Miami. I was obviously a giant Shield fan. And, you know, Walt, for his characters, which I admire, obviously I do a lot, you do a lot, is, you know, we stay in them. We have to, right? You know, and that's a whole, that we'll talk about that in February of why some people do that. But that's a thing of Walt, I'm talking about, was in it, right? And that scene was particularly hard because it was so hot and there's prosthetics involved and there's a lot of makeup involved and there's things. So you're battling a lot of elements in that moment which is hard, you know, especially when you're really embodying a character that is completely opposite or whatever. I had the best time doing that because the way the scene was set up was like old school Sons. Like, here we are.
No doubt, bro. No doubt.
Doing something that's crazy.
No doubt.
Unpredictable. Everything about it is heightened. Like, everything's heightened.
Can you imagine all you guys and me seeing Walton playing Venus first time? It's 98 degrees. We've got Orca on the table.
Over 100. It was actually over 100.
Over 100.
And no air conditioning. They had to shut the air conditioning because of sound. There was no air conditioning.
And the amount of respect that all of us boys gave Walton Goggins on that day was so amazing.
Yeah, and we'll go into the rest of the scene in a minute, but first we have to go back to Gemma at the Osa. Nero's ignoring her. You know, I mean, they chose a hell of a day to do a big tattoo day on Jimmy too, because now you just got makeup working overtime. They got Venus that episode, and they got to put 400 tattoos on Jimmy.
Never thought of that. That's right.
Yeah, it's like, Jesus, you can't have him have his shirt on for one scene. You got to have 96 tattoos on him. Tracy and the girls must have been like, come on.
They were out of their minds.
We just spent 3 days on Venus. Now we got to do tattoos all over him. So that was a big day. You know, Jimmy comes in and anger turns into passion really quick with them too. He tells her about Jax. They have their moment. Sure. Get us back. Let's get back to the insurance office. So Juice gives him the really to Tig, which is one of my favorites, right? Because when you try to rip the bag out of whose hand?
Chucky. No, Chucky. No, seriously. I ripped it right. I just give me that fucking bag.
And you didn't look at him. You just ripped the bag.
Yeah.
I was fucking laughing so hard. And then Venus says, not going to happen.
Tiger. Like she actually says tiger. And you know, my name's Tig, which is kind of, some people think, short for tiger. So I found that so interesting that, anyway, I love it.
It's so we get the which I'm just fucking rolling. Juice gives Tig the really.
Oh no. See, and the look on my face after you said really, that, come on, how funny was that?
Well, my favorite line, and it's weird that it's a Juice line, is Jax goes, "This is fantastic," and Juice goes, I don't know if that's the right word.
No, it's so good.
Which was improv. I go, I don't think that's the right word for
I just wanted to ask you, Rossi, we must have improv so much.
We did, because all they said was take pictures in the script. And then whoever was directing, I don't remember,
forget.
Yeah, me too. Whoever was directing, they just said, just do a bunch of scenes with you guys taking pictures. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. So I'm firing away. And Jax and everybody was just trying to say things that, like, while we're taking the pictures, and that line of him saying this, all right, that's it. This is fantastic. And I say, I don't think that's the right word for this. I fucking was dying. And it's some of the best. I mean, just your face acting, and easily, I think, one of the best group scenes we've ever done as a group.
So good.
Because remember now, let's go to behind the scenes of that day. What was going on? Why we were laughing so hard. Because so Walt is wearing like a leather pleather, whatever you want to call it, kind of like
chaps. They're like chaps.
Yeah.
Like Western chaps. They're all leather. Bum is right there.
Yeah.
Bum is for everyone to see.
Bum is for everyone to see. There's a lot of bum coming up. And there's bum is for everyone to see. And Venus is riding our, insurance guy.
Yeah,
who's a large man and
great. He was great too. He was great.
He's such a gamer.
He's so good,
dude.
Such a gamer.
Such a gamer.
The bangs were so bad on his face, like, and all that.
What an amazing character.
Amazing.
What an amazing character. Like, they should make an action figure of him.
Let's get naked, put the nipple rings on him. I mean, he was a gamer.
And he was a gamer. Like, and he was a good guy, and he was funny. Good for him. I gotta look up his name. And again, just talk about someone who comes in and you got a hard job to do and you just do your job. Like, he's a gamer. So while Venus was riding the insurance guy, it was so hot, like so hot, that the sweat was pouring out of the bodysuit like water, like pouring out onto the floa. But there was also something else. Yeah, there was also something else pouring on. I was taking pictures, so I had a 35 millimeter lens on my camera, so I can get in tight. And because I'm acting like I'm really taking pictures, I'm really taking pictures with the camera. Because Tony or whoever it was in props or Cooters or whatever, they said take pictures for real, and we might be able to use them. So I took real pictures of me taking pictures. So I was really trying to get in there.
Of course you were. You're professional.
And man, I got to tell you, the amount of nut shots that were coming out that I had to I was like, oh, they can't use that. there's the nuts again, because his nuts kept coming out.
No matter what she did, she could not hide those balls. They were. It was like Christmas time. We were handing around a bag of nuts. No matter how much we tried with that black chap thing, it's 100 degrees. You got Orca doing his thing. You got me like, what the fuck? It was on. No wonder we love this show so much. That was such a great whole scene to do.
It was amazing.
The death of Opie. Yeah, it was great.
It was amazing. And we all needed it as much as a cast on the show as we did.
Oh my God. Good point. Great point.
Like we needed to laugh, all of us. Ryan's gone.
Oh.
And we just all got in there, and it was one after the other of just and in the heat, it was just a full day of laughing. Like we couldn't believe, like, we're like, okay, this is the show that you and I remembered from the Doberman.
Fourth episode, season 1.
That's right. Yeah, here we are almost 4 years later going, I remember this show.
That's right. And we're so close as actors, as buddies, as men, so close in real life to be given a scene like that.
Yeah. Where
Charlie gets kissed on the lips at the end. I mean, honestly,
that was the best part.
Please.
It was great.
Icing on the cake.
Icing on the cake. Probably not planned either.
It was not.
No.
No, Walton did that. She did that all on her own. Venus did that all on her own. And the look, oh God, you guys are, I don't know, loved it.
And there is the birth of a character that when you call someone a scene stealer, you know, Philip Seymour Hoffman in every movie he's ever done, talk about a scene stealer.
Yeah.
There's one scene, Walt comes in, Venus is now it's about Venus.
Yeah. Amazing. And at the end of this show, Walton Goggins got his billing at the end, not at the beginning.
That's right.
Because we wanted to surprise everyone. Well, guess what? Now the surprise is there. The cake has been cooked. We're going to see her again and again and again. And I'll bet you Walton's at the front now, not at the back. And
yeah, that's interesting. Cool. I can't wait to look at that. So now we go back to the precinct. Roosevelt is having a baby. Come to find out.
Oh, yeah, that was nice. Kissing the tummy of Merle Dandridge, who plays Rita, his wife. Yeah. She's so good.
Yeah, and
that was sweet.
Speaking of our guy Medina, I'm looking at, he's looking at the pics, and that cop set was kind of right on our set.
Yeah,
he put that together like really fast, and it just looked so great because I did a bunch of scenes in there, and it was like you stepped into a whole new world.
Yeah,
on that set, that police precinct was right near our main set. And he just did an incredible job with that, with like the bear in the background and all that. So here we go. Then we get back. This is where Jax gets kissed and Tig's ass gets bitten. When did the biting of the ass, or you biting, when did this all start?
You mean for Tig?
Yeah.
Why does this always happen to me?
Yeah. How many times you got bitten in the ass as Tig?
25,000. No, 3 or 4. I don't. The dog, this guy.
It started with me.
Started with the dog, started with you. And then I'm always biting someone's ear off. It's always bite. Yeah. And I just found it so funny. Do you remember when I screamed that? Why does this always happen to me? And I don't know if you guys remember, but you guys laughed so fucking hard. They cut that laughter right out. They just cut it right out. They wanted to end that on just my screaming of what the fuck does this always happen to me? Boom, out. Because all you guys were like, thank God it's you, not me. Got to go to the clubhouse, get your ass sewn up now. Your big fat ass on the pool table. Anyway, that was a good day.
We'll get to that ass.
ass.
So we get back to the clubhouse and your ass is out.
Yeah.
Okay. So your ass is out. You took the week off doing squats, obviously.
Tommy slapped me on that ass. He came up with it. He wanted to keep it. He did it in the master, which means you have to do it in every shot. Then he must have slapped my ass a dozen times.
And that ass gets red.
And that ass gets really red. And they'd have to make it over. And he just fucking got harder and harder. And I just remember going, I must have, smoked about 12 fake pot cigarettes.
Worst thing you can do in the world.
Worst thing.
I know. I just did on the last movie. I got sick to my stomach. They
Wait,
actually
you smoked? You, Rossi?
Yeah, in the movie I was just doing, I used herbal cigarettes, and they really wanted me to smoke in this intense scene, because all the other ones they were just
what was that like for you?
Well, they were just, I got to tell you what happened was I found myself spitting all the time. Like I was like, I puff
saliva,
like I'm sitting there and I'm like
saliva,
and I just spit and I'm spit. And finally, the production designer came up and said, you got to stop spitting in the same place because it's piling up. And I'm spitting the floor. I just couldn't get it because the people don't understand. I haven't smoked a cigarette in 12 years or whatever, 11 years, but herbal cigarettes are disgusting because you get the same smell as smoke.
That's what we're using on White House plumbers, and they're awful. They're just terrible.
Awful. Yeah, but we've talked about this. The mistake of using real cigarettes is even worse because then you wind up smoking a pack of cigarettes in like
nicotine, tar, all that other shit that goes along with it. It's brutal.
It's brutal, right? So it's like this whole thing of like what I try to avoid now in anything is they're like the carrot smoke cigarettes. I'm like, fuck, really? Can he just not? So yeah, that's all right. And then okay, so we get that.
Hang on, where'd you go?
Get your thing back up. There you are.
There we are. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jax and Gemma get into it. It's interesting, right? She says he blames her. I go back to this a lot. I feel like we try to give Gemma a lot of like leeway of like, she's not really the bad one, which we ultimately come to find out she's the worst one. But throughout the 7 years, we're always fighting against that she's not as bad as people make her out to be. You notice that?
I do. And all I wrote down was, again, it's a big talk. But the difference in this talk is Jax has changed. Jax has really fucking changed. Gemma has changed. She's really fucking changed. But she's still his mother. He's still her son. So you think the dialogue's going to go this? It doesn't. This time, Jax goes, this is fucking on you. And then she goes, don't put this on me. No, this is on you. Like, something's just not right between those two.
Yeah.
Just not right.
Well, now we cut to straight up Tig's ass shot. They cut the camera and we're looking at your ass from a
I'm really
angle.
sorry about that, peeps. I really am. Samly.
I wasn't ready. I couldn't
believe they're doing that. What do you have to go right up the
right up the side?
Right up the
they adjusted. You didn't even know because you didn't know. No, like, where's the camera? And they're like, oh, don't worry, it's back here. You can't really see anything. It's over you.
No,
it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It was straight up the keys.
Right up the crackaroonie Tigarooski.
Sorry about
that.
Tough to see.
I felt like I was back in my hockey days.
And I was eating popcorn and it was
a disaster. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
damn it.
Yeah, I spit out 2 pieces. Juno ate them. So
But I did write down. This is one of the reasons why you like this episode so much, Rossi. This is still kind of funny.
It is.
Kind
it's
of the good old days.
It's hysterical. It's the good old days.
Fucking Tarek, she can't even do it properly. She can't even. Tony's got to do it anyway. It's funny.
So now Tara and Gemma's scene. Gemma's trying to rekindle. Basically tell her like, I'm not a bad person. You're right. Here we go. Okay, let's move on. Roosevelt's giving.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay, let's move on. Roosevelt's giving Clay the stink eye. And then as he's giving Clay the stink eye, I was wondering, why is Roosevelt giving him the stink eye about these home invasions? So obviously he thinks something. Let's just play that for a moment. But then we cut right to his wife, and I forgot all about this. His wife getting jacked.
Brother,
what happened?
I knew something bad happened to her, but I couldn't remember what. Does she get cancer? Like what's going on with Rita? What's going on with his what? Are you
Does she die?
Well, am I allowed to say?
Well, the baby dies. She doesn't die.
I think so. And then, but then I'm going to stop there because I've been wrong so many times.
But fuck, when that happened, I didn't remember any of this. And I'm like, oh my God, they broke in. She's going to shoot one of them. But you could hear their voices. Now we know who it is. Now we know. And maybe this was the reason we needed them yelling at the table. I know somebody's going to write in the comments.
Oh, good pickup.
I know somebody's going to say that the reason we needed them yelling at the table is so we can link them to this. Sure. I will buy that.
All we've had was the peg leg in the second episode. You see the peg leg that gave that away. One of the nomads. Okay. Yeah. Now you can hear their voices. They're fucking loud.
Yeah. Think about it. Frankie Diamond's had the most dialogue he's ever had at that chapel scene. And then they had to link it to his voice. So maybe I'm dumber. Maybe I'm dumb and they're smart, because I would assume that that's why they had to do that. Okay. So we hear their voices. Now we know who it is. We know it's
goddamn right. We do.
Tara gets this box, the mysterious box that's been floating around.
Can I just interrupt you right there?
Yeah.
Can you explain to me, Rossi? We're in season 5, 5th episode. Mm-hmm. We have had delivered to us bombs, heads, all kinds. How in the world do we not open any box at any time right away? I know it's for a better.
That just ending. Says a name on it. Just says a name.
Jack's
not even a mailing address.
Oh, give it to Jax. This just came.
Put it in the house for the house
for the baby. Yeah, how about that? Like I didn't buy that, but
no. And anyway. Here's the funny thing. I'm sitting there, have no idea what's in the box. All I'm thinking about is the movie 7, somebody's head. What's in the box?
We've already had head and the chili.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, and the whole time we're tracking this box, right? It's going to be this big thing. But again, you're right. No one at one point goes, instead it's, just put it in the car, bring it to Jax. Oh, Tara, just move it on the table.
Yeah,
nobody goes,
doesn't track.
This has got to be suspicious.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she lets Gemma in. She lets her feed Thomas as she puffs on a joint. Cool, great, whatever. Okay. The Roosevelt's at the hospital. Great scene, by the way.
How good is Rock in that scene?
Great. Rock
the look, and this is where whether the writing got shifted kind of bullshitty just a minute ago with the box, it got back into so good. When he goes, I want to check under her fingernails.
That's right.
I'm almost going to start to cry right now. That is a cop whose wife's been shot. They need to see her life, the baby. But I need to check your fingernails.
Yeah.
There might be something there. I mean, that's real.
Rockman did something on that. He balanced.
Oh yeah.
An amazing thing. He just balanced where if you're not a cop, you fall apart.
I know exactly what you're going to say. That's so true.
But you're a cop and you want to whatever, so he balanced this thing and like kept it all contained. Yeah. And you went on that ride with him for those few minutes where you
not even a few minutes, like seconds, like unbelievable.
Seconds.
Unbelievable.
And you were just in with him and then it ended on his face. And I was like, oof, fuck, that's good acting. Right. So after that, Hale makes a choice, right? He's going to get in bed with the MC. The magician pulls up in his car. He kind of takes the thing. Here we go. Fucking the wizard. He looks like a wizard.
The wizard. No, the wizard's even better.
Yeah, he looks like a wizard. So then the montage starts. And we know when these start, something's about to go down at the end of it. Tara's on the couch. Gemma's sleeping with the baby. Jax comes in, has to grab the milk before he pulls out his, what do you call these knives again? K-fobs or whatever. What's it called?
It's a big ass knife. I have no idea what they're actually called. We had 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, they were big though. Fuck, holy shit.
We called it something with a K.
They could fucking kill skin a deer.
Oh yeah, pulls that thing out, opens it, and now we got the boob and the finger from Skeeter. A lot of hype on that box for that. But that's okay. I get it. It's supposed to show like how fucked up the world is, and Jack's supposed to see it and be like, "What have I become?" I get it. A lot to register in a very short time.
And just a couple of things I want to point out to the song that they used. Some of the dialogue. The verse is like, "Tell me of hope. Tell me of an unclouded day." Well, guess what? As Gemma said to Tara in a couple of scenes earlier, there's no gray in this world. It's either, white or black. It's either day or night. There's no gray. It's either so fucked up or we're going to laugh about Tiggs getting his stitching or you taking photos and with Venus, in that hot climate that we had that day. I don't know.
It's great.
The song was great. I keep harping on how we don't even use music in this show. It's just so, but this was a fun episode, bro.
Yeah, no, and that's what I wrote here. I mean, there's, we talked about the very little mention of Opie and all that, but it just felt like I was on a ride.
Yeah.
From the second the episode starts. It's one of those episodes that you can watch and you don't have to have seen like every episode. You can just watch it and go, you could literally start that episode if you've never seen Sons and go,
that's a good point.
This is a fun show. Like you might watch that and go, this is like, I would show that episode to people who don't know the show and they might go, oh shit, this is not what I thought.
No, that's a really good point. The only gun shooting was those bikes being blown up. You know what I mean? And that's kind of funny.
Yeah, like, it's kind of funny.
With that 50 cal. Yeah. Ooh.
And again, I just think that I think it's everything I want in a Sons episode. It's everything I want in an episode of Sons, and I'm so excited. I loved it. I loved watching it. So listen, if you're listening to this, subscribe, like, do the whole bit, write a review, whatever you need to do. If you're one of our Patreon peeps, we're catching up on everything. We promise. Once Tig gets his technology Tig gets.
What a shambles today was.
What a shambles. What a shit show.
What a shit show shambles.
Shit show shambles. This is a shamble shit.
Thank God I got my Theory t-shirt on.
This is a shamble show.
This is shamble fucking shit show. Okay. Thank you, Kim Coates, for coming along.
Kim Coates. So you're going to get all your technology right. And we're going to catch up on everything.
Can only pray.
We got a bunch of greetings to go out. We got a bunch of Q&As.
God, do we ever.
We got stacked up guests waiting. Next week might be a really fun one. We don't want to say anything yet because of the way our lives work. Who knows where we'll be next week.
Put it this way, peeps. If this works out, you're going to be so freaking delighted.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm delighted thinking about it.
I'm just, I can't even. I just so hope. Please.
It will. It'll work. It's just our schedules and all, but it'll work. And like nuts. I said, what I said to Justin the other day was, even if I have to film, like if you and I have to film it and we just do that part, and then
that's a good point.
We edit it into the episode,
and then we edit it in. We could do that.
We can do that to make sure we do it. Okay. Because of our schedule.
I'm in.
Listen, go get your shit fixed. Hey, go to Radio Shack.
I quit. I'm in the corner right now. I can't predict anything. I don't even know how to shut this off on my fucking phone.
Shut it off.
How do I do that?
I gotta go.
Leave. Love you. Bye. Goodbye.